Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Will It Develop? My name is Jerry, and today we're going to be testing out a roll of Perutz Peromnia from 1961. Alright, let's jump back into it. So, like I said, we're going to be doing the Perutz today, so let's go ahead and crack it open and see what we got. At one point this was $2.50, apparently at some place, but we're looking at 20 exposures in 100. Looks like I'm assuming that stands 100 exposure index, and then it looks like we're out of Germany. So the Perutz brand I don't know a lot about. We'll do some research while we're out shooting and while we're out photographing and be able to go through that. So, but this is kind of cool. The Perutz film, that's the wrapper it's in. I like that. Open that. Really no other information in here, so this one I'm probably going to have to look up a little bit more and see what we can discern from the rest of our friends on the internet as we're going through it. So I don't know what this tropical means, but I guess we'll figure that out soon enough too. So let's go ahead and crack this open. I don't know, I really like there's been a lot of these older films. I think this one is from, oh yeah, this one's from 1961. And so at some point I guess, yeah, like they went to just the plastic canisters, and I wonder, like I'll try to figure out that historically as well. But whoa, this is cool. So we got the Peromnia 21. And what I'm finding really interesting is all the manufacturers used to put them in reusable canisters. And so I wonder if that's why this FEMA, I believe 32, I wonder if that was why it was just loose film, because FEMA would have already given you the canister maybe, and maybe that was just a reload. I don't know, I'm gonna have to, yeah, now I'm just like, I have so many more questions than answers, but that's not bad. So the Perutz 20 exposures, we're gonna look all this up and go drop it in a camera and see what we can get, but I'm very excited to see why these canisters are reusable, because you can't really see it on camera. We'll see if you can, but on the tip there, you might be able to get it. It does say Perutz. I hope I'm saying that correctly, but it's on the actual top of the lid. So these were custom canisters and they're reusable. So one of the missions we had with the Celluloid Collective is we used recycled canisters to reload, and that way we're not as wasteful. But this is really interesting that at some point manufacturers were also doing it. So I wonder if like these FEMA companies and some of these companies out of Europe, I wonder if they were selling bulk load film that you could just buy and then reload. I don't know. I have more questions than answers, so I'll do some research and see what we can find. But with that said, we're going to go out, we're going to shoot the Perutz Peromnia and see what we can get from 1961. I'll be right back. Alright, time for some history. So Perutz was around until 1964. They did black and white and color films. The 21 seems to be for a DIN rating, which was another way of rating film back then, equivalent to 100 now ISO. For the canisters were reusable. They sold them that way, and then they would give you bulk loaded film. Well, they wouldn't give it to you, but they'd sell it to you. And looks like it was eventually sold to AGFA in 1964, and then AGFA went out of business after that. I believe that was in the 80s, and some of the Perutz stocks did stick around for AGMA. So it looks like in 1964, Perutz was acquired by AGFA, and production declined from there. So that's the history for today. Let's look at some prints. All right, so we're back, and it's been a couple weeks since I filmed the opening of these, and full disclosure, a lot of things have been going on. So I found out the school that I'm teaching at is closing at the end of the year, and so it's been a little inconsistent and everything like that. So I'm optimistic that these are all good things. That's kind of the way that I like to try to live my life, is that even when these things that are kind of completely out of your control happen, that I do believe that they're leading us to somewhere better. So I'm going to take that kind of approach, and so, but this has been a lot of fun to be able to do this. I actually shot all the rolls for the next 5 episodes from here on. during my spring break. And so, which was right after I found out about the school closing. So this will go to the end of the year, so I'll still be teaching and everything like that, but I'm really gonna take this as an opportunity to experiment and try new things and see, you know, what this this whole internet thing leads to. So it's been really great to see all of the comments. I feel like this has been really helpful for some people to find these film stocks that maybe they found laying around in a house, and that it's able to be usable to you to know that, yeah, I mean, even these things that are 40, 50, 60 years old, they're still working. So with that being said, I just wanted to kind of update you because it has been about 2 or 3 weeks since I filmed the opening of this, so it's been a drastic difference of what's going on just on a personal level, and this is a whole community kind of effort and stuff, so I just wanted to be transparent with you, and I thank you all for your support. But with all that being said, let's look at these prints. So these are the Perutz Peromnia, and so this roll, what was it? Let's look really quick. I shot so many of them that I don't really remember what the year was on this one. But the Perutz Peromnia that I had, well, I have a couple of rolls of Perutz, and so here we go. All right, so yeah, this is the one that we had, and this one's from 1961. So you'll see here on these prints, which I think are just so cool, but you'll see that there looks like there was mold spores on them, and so that's actually been kind of cooked into the film and everything. And with this one here, this was a really low ISO 100, and I ended up shooting this at, let me find my notebook. I have to write all this stuff down. These old film stocks are crazy. So, but the Peromnia I ended up shooting at ISO 1.5 because it was from 1961. So these are all at ISO 1.5. I rated them for that, and then I, you know, just developed at normal time. So this was all developed just normal black and white, no different temperatures. So whatever your black and white developer would be fine for that. But what I really enjoyed about it is just this kind of like mold stuff that's all over the images, and it's really cool. There's also like this really kind of like haunting effect to it, because it's done some weird stuff to the grain as well. So at the end, when you see them full screen, you'll kind of see all of that stuff. But you'll see in a couple of them, I don't know what these little dots are, so if anybody knows what those are, I want to drop them in the bottom. I'm assuming it might just be part of the mold as well, some kind of spore. But yeah, we got some really cool stuff. This is one of my faves right here. And so this one, yeah, kind of like bloomed out. And what I thought was great, even in ISO 1.5, I think as modern artists, that we shoot at 400, 800, 2000, 3200, all these different film stocks. And if you're shooting digital, you can just go up from there. But with doing that, I think we forget that a lower ISO is still 100% possible, especially in direct sunlight. So I mean, I'm able to get to like a 1/125th shutter speed at kind of like a 2.8, as long as I'm in direct sunlight. And this one here, not the case. This one was just almost completely mold, really nothing came out. I think there's a palm tree right here, but it did some wild things. And then this was just the end of the roll, which I thought was kind of cool because it kind of stopped right there at the end and didn't get the whole exposure. But when you're starting to put your films together and the ones that you like and the things that you find and enjoy, this is all about process to me. That's all it's ever been about. So what I love about these film stocks that we've been shooting is I don't get to decide what I get to shoot them at. I have to, work with nature and time and all of these elements. And then I also I don't know what's going to work because they're 50, 60, 70 years old. 1961, it's a long time ago. And so when you're looking at them and you could kind of see these things, it's like the film wanted to still be alive, despite the mold, despite all the other things that were going on, everything wanted to still live. And so I guess that kind of encapsulates everything that's going on right now personally, is just like life will move on. And sometimes we just have to give it the moment to be able to kind of shine. We got to give it different light. We got to give it more light. And so as we start moving on. But so these were the Perutz Peromnia. We'll have a little slideshow here at the end that shows you all of the images full screen and all that kind of stuff. We'll post them over on social media as well, so you'll get to see them over there. But thanks for stopping by. I hope this was fun. I hope it was informative for you, and I hope you have a blessed day. So see you next time.